When it comes to kinky, clarity is key.
Madam, I need you to remain calm, and trust me, I'm a professional.
Welcome to WatchMojo's Top 5 Myths, the series that finds the biggest myths that people actually believe and dispels them one by one. In today's installment, we'll be counting down the top 5 myths about BDSM. Short for bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism, BDSM defines a wide range of sexual and erotic activities. Given our social tendency to exaggerate, generalize about, or outright demonize sexual alternatives and subcultures, this particular collection of kinks has gotten a bit of bad rap in popular media. Myth number 5, BDSM is a fetish.
He feels confident that your particular fetish
is not a fetish.
As anybody involved in BDSM will tell you, you have a safe word. And why? Because when it comes to this sort of erotic activity, communication is key. So let's clarify some terminology. BDSM is not a fetish, despite the fact that people often mistakenly refer to it as such. According to sex therapist Christine Milrod, it's erotic behavior or kink. A fetish is imbuing something that isn't explicitly sexual with erotic stimulating qualities. For example, feet. They aren't sexy to most people, but for someone with a foot fetish, they become the object of desire. Kink refers to any activity that deviates from sexual conventions or norms which gives people pleasure.
What the f*** is going on here?
Myth number 4, it's uncommon. BDSM might be taboo, but it's far from rare. The 2005 Durex Global Sex Survey revealed that 1 in 5 respondents have engaged in some light form of bondage during sex. In the UK and US, those numbers climbed to 37 and 36% respectively. A 1999 Canadian survey of university students revealed that up to 65% of respondents had fantasies involving bondage. While the percentage of people involved in extreme BDSM is significantly lower, these figures help us to understand that BDSM is quite common. It simply exists on a sliding scale of intensity. It's also nothing new. The Kama Sutra makes reference to consensual violence during sex. In the States, BDSM has been around since the late 50s or early 60s.
I want you to punish me.
Myth number 3, people are always subs or doms. In BDSM, the fantasy fulfillment traditionally involves 2 roles, that of the dominant and the submissive. The dominant, or dom for short, exercises control over the submissive partner by punishing, humiliating, controlling, or rewarding them. Both parties derive pleasure from the power dynamic. While most outsiders are familiar with these 2 roles, many make the mistake of thinking they're rigid or set.
I like to be dominated.
Some people even erroneously believe that these roles reflect someone's overall personality, when the exact opposite can be equally true. While those involved in BDSM may only be interested in one of the 2 roles, others identify as a switch and will take on either. Myth number 2, it's all about abuse and pain. While sadism and masochism may be included in the acronym BDSM, as previously mentioned, there are many different types of BDSM activities which people can choose to partake in. Many such erotic practices don't involve whips and chains or S&M. While either experiencing or inflicting psychological and or physical pain can be pleasurable for some people, others aren't interested. For them, stimulation can be derived from being tied up or otherwise restrained, or the simple act of being dominated.
You actually want me to hurt you?
So I can feel pleasure, yes!
Even amongst S&M practitioners, BDSM is not supposed to be inherently dangerous. The riskier or more violent the roleplay, the more safety precautions, communication, and trust it requires between partners. Myth number 1, it's all about sex.
The first rule is that I don't you.
Shocked? You're not alone. Given that BDSM is about pleasure, people tend to assume that the erotic practices involved are simply extreme variations of conventional sex acts. For some in the BDSM scene, however, orgasm has absolutely nothing to do with it. Traditional sex can be totally absent. Instead, being humiliated, restrained, made to feel pain, insulted, or otherwise demeaned can give them everything they need. In some cases, there's no physical contact whatsoever. While the uninitiated may only see BDSM as a combination of sex and violence, for others, non-sexual play is the real source of pleasure. It serves as an exercise in trust, relinquishing control, and fantasy fulfillment.
The safety word is banana.
I love you.
So which of these myths did you believe? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.